Texas. Mr. Sessions, Chair of our Oversight Committee, is now recognized for 5 minutes.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much, and I really appreciate you having this hearing today. I think both you and Ranking Member Waters agree we have a problem. So the question is, what does this committee do to help us focus on that problem? As a regular part of the National Association of Realtors, when they visit me, this is the conversation. When the home builders visit me, this is part of the conversation. I think it has gone away from the problems that we had with supply chain to actual rules and regulations, as Mrs. Sears has talked about, is the problem. Certainly, if you look at industry data, it says that government regulations add nearly $94,000 to the price of a new single-family home. Being from Waco, Texas, I will remember with a few years ago, with cities that were struggling to add tax on top of what was required for them to prepare for new homes, roads, bridges, infrastructure, water pipes, and all these things. I think that this panel has brought a country viewpoint of this as opposed to just my viewpoint in Texas, where we have a huge housing problem and one that has been talked about, certainly Mr. Peter talked about, it's across the country. I think we ought to focus on getting more investment money into the pot. And I don't think that that is federal money. I think that that is looking at streamlining, and I've talked to Secretary Turner about this, streamlining housing authorities instead of them holding the bulk of the money and them building buildings and them controlling the circumstances. I think HUD should look at the rules and regulations about rebuilding, what the rules are related to replacing existing housing. I tried to do this with Secretary Fudge to no advantage 3 years ago when we suffered taking away current housing to build new housing rather than adding to that availability. Mr. Sears, please tell us, what do you believe is the number one thing this committee should do on a bipartisan basis to stop the problems that we have with government regulations, whether they be federal government, state, or city government?
Mr. Sessions, thank you. You nailed it on the head. When it costs $100,000 approximately before the shovel gets in the dirt, that is a significant issue, and it leads to the affordability crisis. And the way that I believe this committee and Congress can help is by helping incentivizing localities, states, to streamline their the red tape, their zoning. If there's anything you can do in funding, help with infrastructure costs. One of the things that, and you touched on this, investors are a little reticent when there is a lot of red tape. They need certainty that projects are going to be approved and that the shovel is going to get in the ground to produce the housing. And so anything we can do to help with those issues would be welcomed by the National Association of Realtors and my 1.5 million realtor members.
In Texas, Mr. Sears, and I'm sure Mrs. Smith knows this, in Texas there is this huge pent-up demand for housing. When interest rates that President Trump is attempting to get the Fed to lower, when interest rates fall to a level that they need to be, not are, but should be, it is going to create, I think could create, an investment opportunity to where if we do our job here to support Chairman Hill, then that means that the investment community will come in and spend that money with streamlined opportunity for them. And I think it is off of a deal that you and the home builders understand better than I, but an opportunity to control that property, make it available today, streamline the red tape, and get people their housing today without the federal government or a housing authority getting in the way of that opportunity. Mrs. Smith, please tell me more about what you think we ought to be doing.
I'm sorry about that. Thank you for the question. There are a lot of sort of proven strategies that have worked. I was talking with a developer who is working on a project in DC, right here, where we are, last night, and DC has put together a lot of incentives to
Ms. Smith, I'm going to ask you to respond in writing, if I might.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. I think that the opportunity for us to see this in writing will enable us to approach this on bipartisan basis. Mr. Chairman, I
Thank you.
thank you for
Thank
the
you, Ms.
time.
Sessions. And now the gentlewoman